it's the beginner crafter. Welcome to another WIPTube. I am recording this a little bit earlier than usual. July hasn't finished yet. However, I'm leaving on holiday for a few days, so I won't really be able to record anything later on. I will craft only a little bit until the end of July, so I don't think it will make that much of a difference. And also the first few days of August I also won't be able to craft much, so it kind of balances things out. And the progress is pretty good. There are some mishaps, but in general it's pretty good. And I'd like to start with a finish because I'm super proud of it, that I managed to finish my Lacy Cable Tee. Like totally. So here it is. It's quite large, I gotta say. There you are, although the sleeves are not. Yeah. So, yeah, this is Lacy Cable Tee by Inge's Knitting Lab, and I love the pattern. Love, 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 love. Both what it looks like in the end and the way she writes the pattern. It was so detailed, step by step, with tips, with videos, absolutely fantastic. There are a few things I did wrong because I'm not very mindful of some things. I forget. I'm not advanced. Like there are a lot of things that didn't go perfect, but still it worked out pretty well. So, for example, there is like a hole. No, it's not a hole, but you can see that the stitches are not exactly right. So that was me not picking up the stitches correctly, and I noticed that a few rows in, so I decided not to bother with it. The idea was to sort of weave that in when I will be weaving in the ends, but I completely forgot about it because it's most of the time it's not really visible. In here, in the I-cord, I forgot to use the sequined thread that I used in the top hem and in the sleeves hems, but I forgot to use it in here. I was so excited to be finishing it that I completely forgot that I need to add another another thread. But again, not something that is like terribly noticeable, I think. So yeah, it's completely not bothering me. I think next time I would make a bigger hole for my head. I was doing size XL most of the time. However, because of my gauge, the top part I was doing for size L. However, the number of stitches for the neckline was the same for size L and XL. So the only thing that was different was how many rows would be stitched. And that is fine. So I think I would probably try to do, to be honest, I don't know what I would try. But the neckline is slightly too small for me, although I haven't tried it yet after blocking. So maybe blocking, although I didn't really like block it, I just stretched it while it was still wet. So it might help actually to make the neckline a little bit wider. I think I would make the sleeves slightly shorter. I made them longer than the pattern suggested. Like I said, trust the pattern. I was worried that they would be too small, like too short, but they're not. I think I would like them a little bit shorter than I made them. But I really like the construction of this European shoulder. It might be slightly difficult to handle at the beginning because you are using the same needles that you already have things stitched on. So it might be uncomfortable at the beginning, but it's easy to work things out. So I love this thing. And I think next time, because actually this project has the biggest probability of me making another of it, I'll still need to check how it wears. The one time I wore it, I found it actually quite hot, which is weird because it's the yarn. I used the Drops Bell, if I remember correctly, and it has linen in it, so it shouldn't be too hot. But I found it slightly hot. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe it was just from all the excitement of finishing it that I was hot. So the next time I would make more bust darts. I made only one, pattern repeat of a bust dart because when I was looking at myself in the mirror wearing the top, I thought the difference is pretty small. But now that I'm wearing the full length of it, I can see that I could use at least 2 or even 3 more pattern repeats of bust darts. So that would be another thing I would make different. But yeah, I love this top. It's really great. So I'm really, really happy I made it. So yeah, that's my finish for the month. And I'm super happy because I finished it more than a month before the official end of the knit along, which means it's my level 3 goal for the year. Super stoked about it because with other projects I might not get there. So let's take the win. Then other knitting. So my Wishbone sweater is getting larger and larger. However, not large enough. This is how much I stitched in July. So quite nice progress. It's a little bit over 1 pattern repeat. I still need to make at least 1 more pattern repeat until I start hemming. This is what the pattern says. I tried it on and I might want to do 1 more pattern repeat than the pattern suggests. But I will have to look a bit more closely because there is hem and the hem is pretty long. So I'll have to measure stuff, how long I want this sweater to be, but I usually prefer longer things so that they don't, so that if I put my hands up, and as a teacher writing on whiteboard, unfortunately these days, I put at least one of my hands up pretty often, and I don't want any sort of part of my body showing, so I prefer things longer. So I will have to measure how long still I need to make it. But at least 1 more pattern repeat. So there is still a long way to go. In this sweater, I'm making size 4 to 5 XL. I mean, the difference in sizing is huge. I don't really know what's going on. Like, do I measure myself incorrectly all the time? But when I put it on, it fits. So it's not this problem. But the sizing is really weird. Lacy Cable Top was L/XL, mostly XL. This one is 4 to 5 XL. So it's weird. And the next I'm going to show you, it's completely different sizing as well. So that's the Wishbone Sweater. There's not much more I can say here, to be honest. It's super warm, so I don't try it on often because it's super warm. It's more of a winter sweater, so thankfully the summer isn't too hot this year, so it's not a big problem working on it. But trying it on is a bit problematic. So I only try it on when I really have to check things out. And take it off as soon as possible. So yeah, this is the progress. I guess now I will be able to focus on it a little bit more because I finished the Lacy Tee, Lacy Cable Tee. So I'll go a bit faster and hopefully I'll be hemming this time next month. Maybe even I will finish the hem, but again, we'll see how the summer behaves because there might be time when I just cannot stitch it because it's just way too hot. Then I've got a new start. However, it's going to get frogged. So it's a false start, and actually I forgot to put in my notebook when I exactly started it, which turned out to be a good idea. I won't have to cross it out because since I will be frogging it completely, I'll need a new start date. What the problem is, I twisted the thing, and I noticed it a few rows in and a few days of work in. So yeah, I decided to just let it go for now and start it after I come back from holidays, relaxed, so that I'm not mad, because I'm already mad at it because I had to untangle a lot of yarn for this sweater because my dog decided to play with it. And I mean, he likes eating the labels from yarns, and he grabbed the label and started pulling, and he unraveled a lot of the yarn with it. So I was already pretty annoyed. I think you can see it more in those two. Like, this is part of the label that he hadn't eaten. So I'm not too happy about that. I'm not too happy about the false start. And the sweater I'm knitting is the Pohjola sweater. This is what it's going to look like. And at first, when I realized how big this is, I looked at it and was like, okay, there is a boat neckline. Is it called a boat? I don't remember, but it is quite wide. But then in the pattern I noticed I'm supposed to knit this pattern, this ribbing, for I think 6 centimeters. And I was like, this doesn't have 6 centimeters. And then it says start using the chart. This is not 6 centimeters, what's going on? And then I realized this is a sweater that you stitch bottom up. This will be my first time. I don't know how you try it on in the meantime. Like, I don't know how you try it on in the meantime, honestly. It's going to be a little bit full of surprises, like completely new thing for me. And in here, I am stitching size M, and I'm pretty sure I also could try stitching size S based on the measurements and gauge here. I just prefer to be a bit conservative and on the safe side. That's why I'm stitching size M, in case I put on weight, in case something. I also prefer like slightly oversized things. I don't really like when things are very, very tight. But I can see that I could, at least in theory, stitch size S as well and just lengthen the sleeves and the body somehow. I would have to learn also that without trying it on. I really can't wrap my head around trying it on when it's bottoms up. Like, how do I try it on through my head when there's no neckline? I mean, I know it's going to be big enough, but it just doesn't work in my head. It just doesn't work. But we'll try. We will try. However, like I said, I'll have to rip it off. And I don't know how much of a level progress I'll be able to make with this one. Because for Pohjola, okay, start chart is my level 1 goal. Start chart is after those 6 centimeters. So if I start this sweater again in August, I should reach that level 1 goal at least. So yeah, that won't be a problem. Level 2 is also, as far as I can see, quite achievable this year as well. Level 3 already complicated. And I forgot to talk about how I stand in my goals for Wishbone. Finish lower body for level 2. Yeah, that could happen. That could happen in August as well. I will have to check how it is in the pattern, but I remember I wrote my levels according to the sort of pattern parts, and it might be without hem, this lower body. So it might happen in August as well. That would be nice. Finish the whole sweater this year. It's also possible, considering this sweater will be like my priority knitting at the moment. So it's also possible. With Pohjola, level 1, very achievable. Level 2, also quite possible. Level 3 now a little bit more complicated. But I'm doing good. I think I'm doing good. When it comes to those patterns, those projects, I'm doing good. Now, crocheting, and this is the part when I'm a little bit disappointed, and that is Shape Play or Play Shape Make Along by Scheepjes, and designed by Lillabjorn, by Tatiana, and this is what I have so far, and it's 20 rows, I think. And my level 3 goal is to, I think, finish it within a month after the official date. And I invented sort of this goal when I was recording the mid-year whip parade, my last video, and I hadn't thought to check when the official end of this make-along is. And I was kind of hoping it would be somewhere mid-August. And then that would give me time until about mid-September. However, I did check later on, and officially the make-along has already finished. It finished on the 23rd of July. So, like, even giving myself grace for, not checking things out and stuff, and giving this 1 month after official finish until the end of August, I highly doubt I will finish it in time. Mainly because I'm leaving on holiday. I mean, if I didn't go on holiday, I probably would be able to stitch quite a lot of it within it's like a week and a half. I could do quite a big progress on it. That would allow me to then finish. I'm not sure I can make it. But that's my own fault. I should have checked and said, for example, at least 2 months or something like that. But yeah, some goals need to be also made very difficult so that it's not super like done, and that's it. I like the pattern. I like the way it looks. I don't really have any problems with that. It's just I didn't really have the time to work on it too much. The yarn slightly tangles, but it's not a big problem. It also splits, but it's also not such a big problem. So here I don't really have too many problems. I just didn't really have the time to work on it. I mean, there are so many projects, and I guess I need to set myself more of a limit. How many projects I want to work on, so that I have time for everything. So far, I didn't really have any problems. Just with this project, it became a bit more noticeable. But I think also because I wanted really to finish the Lacy Cable Tee, to start the Pohjola sweater, to buy yarn in July, because I wanted to use a special offer from a shop. However, when I looked at the pattern for the Pohjola sweater, and I realized my size is smaller than what I usually stitch, I probably won't need any extra yarn for it. And I was sort of operating that I will have to buy more yarn for it anyway, and I need to stitch some part of the sweater to know how much yarn to order. And it turns out I might not need it after all. So I guess maybe if I didn't focus that much on knitting, I would make a bigger progress on this one. So I guess I will have to switch priorities for August and focus on this project a little bit more, just so I have a chance of achieving level 3 goal. Level 2, I think, because level 2 I have as finish like midway between the official end and the end of the year. So like even if I put like the 23rd of July, you've got August, September, November, December. So until the end of September, more or less, the 20. Really? That's 2 months. And then it's October, November, December. So mid-October, that would be midway through. So that's absolutely possible for me to do it. So not terrible, but I know I could have done more. And I guess I should have done more. Okay, and then I've got my cross stitching. And the first Miranda, which is my focus piece. It's just a little problematic because it's big. It's big and it doesn't fit well, also because it's Frankensteined. So I stitched quite a lot on Miranda. I stitched 4,077 stitches, mainly on this page. I did stitch a little bit on Miranda's head, actually hair mostly, slightly on other areas as well. And here, more or less, is the end of the page. Oh, wait a moment, no. About here, it's the end of the page. So I'm really close to finishing the page and moving on to the next square, which would get me very close to level 3 goal, finishing like half of the next row, which would be, I guess, a little bit over half of the next page. That kind of where the half of the next row would be. So that's super great. I still will make the decision of maybe moving the level 3 goalpost a little bit further at the end of August, because I'll have to see how much I'll be able to stitch in August. If I switch my priorities to focus on the crocheting, I might put Miranda off for a while, and then I might not change the level 3 goal and just go as is. So we'll see. But I'm super happy that I stitched so much. I'm at 53.87%, so that's pretty good. And like, yeah. Another good thing here that with those, I mean, it's good and bad. Because this part is so light, you don't really see the white areas where it's not stitched. And for showing you like this, it's great because you don't see those areas like here or here. However, when I stitch and I try to find the place to fit, to put the needle in, then it's a bit more problematic. So it has good sides and bad sides for it, but it's moving along pretty well. So I'm quite happy with what's going on. And like, yeah, Miranda is doing really well right now. Then I've got Avarice, and I stitched quite a lot on Avarice because I stitched 1,542 stitches, which gets me to 18.37. And the problematic thing is that I can't get to 20%. And 20% is my level 1 goal. So with Avarice, I haven't even reached level 1 goal yet, even though I focus mainly on cross-stitching with my whips. So that's a little bit worrying that Avarice is still sort of behind with reaching the goals. I have moved to this page now. As you can see, this page still has quite a lot of white areas, but for reasons that I now don't remember, I think it was because there was a lot of colors that sort of started on this page, like had a few stitches, and then they moved here. I decided to go with this page and then use that thread, not really yarn, but thread on those whiter areas. So I guess that's why I changed it to here. Also, it is just going to go a bit faster because there's mostly background, which means not so many changes of color. Like, for example, the next square I'm going to stitch, this is pure black. like all 100 stitches is one color, that will be perfect to stitch. So that will give me quite fast progress, which hopefully will get me somewhere in August. No, considering how much progress I make and the fact that August will be more of an envy month, I don't expect to reach level 1 goal in August, maybe in September. But that's also oh, I need to get going on Avarice because I'm really not doing well. I'm really not doing well in Avarice. I need to step up with Avarice. So I guess, yes, I will work on Envy in August, but I'll need to work on Avarice as well because Envy at least has level 1 goal reached. And I'm quite close. I'm closer to reaching level 2 goal on Envy than I am on reaching 1 goal in Avarice. So I need to step up. I need to stitch more on it. Yep. That has to be the decision, really. That I need to work on Avarice more. Because I'm quite behind on it. And I think it's mostly the fault is because life, but also this page was full of confetti stitches because of all the symbols. They're super interesting to stitch visually because you get something interesting happening. However, for stitching it's horrible because there are so many confetti stitches that I don't really like doing, that I guess it just pushed me away. And also the fact that it's quite a lot of dark color is just doubly annoying. Here I'm going to have mostly dark, but as far as I can see, at least for a lot of it, it will be just one color or two colors, but a lot of stitches of the same color. That should go better. Fingers crossed for it getting better. And then I've got Extraordinary Birds Stitch Along. This is how much I have. It's a really nice progress. I stitched almost 1,500 stitches this month, and I'm at 56.23% of level 1 goal, which means that out of the 12 features plus frame that will be in the pattern, right now I'm stitching on up to feature 4. So the percentage is up to feature 4 because my level 1 goal is to stitch to complete up to feature 4, the stitch along during this year. And so I'm stitching on the part of the pattern that includes only frame and up to feature 4 with the birds. And the difference between this month and last month in percentages is about 15%, which means if I keep up with stitching, I should get to about 70% next month, which means I would be able to include the pattern that goes for also my level 2 goal, which means up to feature 8. Because I will already know where the areas are I want to stitch on first to finish feature 4, but also use the same color for areas that are in the level 2, so for features from 5 to 8, because I don't want to rethread after just a few stitches. I think at the moment although I haven't checked. But I think yesterday was supposed to be feature 10 out, but I don't really remember seeing an email on it, so it might be the week to catch up. So the stitch along hasn't officially finished yet, yay, but I'm still in the first third of it, more or less. So there's still a long way to go, but it looks great. I absolutely love what's happening. I like stitching on it as well. The only problem I have, it's a mental problem, is the fact that I don't know what will be in between. So for example, there is like the frame part here, and it starts around here, and I don't really want to count it. So I'm leaving this part for the time when I will actually be stitching on the level 2, this up to feature 8, because I know there's a bird here, and it's a cool bird there. There's a, what's it called? Peacock there. Absolutely great. It looks absolutely amazing. And after I stitch the peacock, it will be much easier for me to stitch it. So yeah, and hopefully some of the colors that are used in peacock I will also be able to use in my level 1 stitching. So I'm looking forward to it, really. It's really fun working on it, just sometimes slightly difficult to count where I'm supposed to start stitching, because there are so many white areas still. It's sometimes a bit difficult to like count where I'm supposed to start, because it's just, there aren't too many reference points. I hope when I get to level 2 goal already, so up to feature 8, this will be like 2/3 of the pattern, the whole pattern. It will be much easier to wrap my head around everything and just do things a bit more smoothly. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I love the pattern, really. I love what's happening. I don't know most of the birds here, but they look really cute and amazing, and the peacock just stole my heart. Absolutely, I love peacocks because of the colors that they have, so I'm absolutely happy that it's featured in here, and I'm interested to see what's in other features, like the future features that haven't yet been published, because those birds are amazing, like really extraordinary birds, like the title suggests. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you is actually a new start, and the new start is only because I really want to do something when I'm traveling, but none of my projects really is good for traveling because it's too big. I'm worried things will unravel or tangle. So I decided to take sashiko with me. So I prepared for the sashiko. I like put things like safety pins in it so that the two parts of fabric stay together. And I did start stitching in here. It's small, it's little, it's very little, like 4 stitches long so far, but it's happening, it's starting. And I don't need to make a lot of progress here because it's really not so much of a priority to make, but I have sashiko as my goals for the year. And I think this is the best moment to start, because every stitch I make on this holiday is progress, and it's progress that won't really cause any trouble with my projects, because there's nothing to unravel here. What I've worked on for months, nothing to tangle really. I mean, the thread could tangle, but it's really no big deal. I have lots of it. So I think this is the best project for going on holiday. And even if I make just 4 more stitches, like 1 stitch a day during the holiday or something like that, it still counts as progress. So this is what I'll be doing on a holiday, and I hopefully will make more than 4 stitches, but I don't really expect to like work too much on it, if you know what I mean. Just a little bit will be fine. And that's it. If you like the video, please click the thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have anything to say. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already and you want to see my progress in all the crafts that I'm making and trying. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully, see you next time. Bye!